this question: is global warming really happening? How many of you like to look at movies? Anyone saw the movie The Day After Tomorrow? What about 2012? Anyone saw that movie? 2012. Okay, I will recommend that you see both of these movies. Global warming is very close to my heart because I'm an emergency and disaster nurse, and I know I'm just pushing the lectern a little closer to the light so I can see. I have a little visual impairment. Because I know of the adverse effects we can have in the future. Global warming. It is the increase in the average temperature of the Earth's near surface air and ocean since the mid-20th century and its projected continuation. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change concludes that most of the observed temperature increase since the middle of the 20th century was very likely caused by increasing concentrations of greenhouse gases resulting from human activity such as fossil fuel burning and deforestation. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change also concludes that variations in natural phenomena such as a solar radiation and volcanic eruption had a small cooling effect after 1950. So do you think that the volcano we had approximately 1 month ago was a good thing, an asset to global warming, in that it cooled down the air? Think about it. Climate model projections summarized in the latest Intergovernmental Panel report that the global surface temperature is likely to rise a further 1.1 to 6.40 degrees Celsius or 2.0 to 11.5 Fahrenheit during the 21st century. So what do you think will happen to our weather system? Summers and winters and spring. Think about it. The uncertainty in the estimated arises from the use of models with differing sensitivity to greenhouse gases concentration and the use of different estimates of the future greenhouse gas emissions. Most studies focus on the period leading up to the year 2100. However, warming is expected to continue beyond the 2100 even if emissions stop because of the large heat capacity of the oceans and the long lifetime of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. An increase in global temperature will cause sea levels to rise and will change the amount and pattern of precipitation, probably including expansion of subtropical deserts. Warming is expected to be strongest in the Arctic and would be associated with continuing retreat of glaciers, permafrost, and sea ice. Other likely effects include changes in the frequency and intensity of warm weather events, species extinction, and changes in agricultural fields. Warming and related changes will vary from region to region around the globe, though the nature of this regional variation is uncertain. Political and public debate continues regarding global warming, its causes, and what actions to take in response. Most national governments have signed and ratified the Kyoto Protocol aimed at reducing greenhouse gases emissions. The destruction of stratospheric ozone by chlorofluorocarbons is sometimes mentioned in relation to global warming. Reduction of stratospheric ozone has a cooling influence, but substantial ozone depletion did not occur until the late 1970s. Ozone in troposphere, the lowest part of the Earth's atmosphere, does contribute to surface warming. Global dimming, a gradual reduction in the amount of global direct radiation at the Earth's surface, has particularly counteracted global warming from 1960 to the present. The main cause of this dimming is aerosols produced by volcanoes and pollution. These aerosols extend the cooling effect by increasing the reflecting of incoming sunlight. In addition to other direct effects by scattering and absorbing solar radiating aerosols, have indirect effect on the radiation budget. Sulfate aerosols, such as cloud condensation nuclei, thus lead to clouds that have more and smaller cloud droplets. These clouds reflect solar radiation more efficiently than clouds with fewer and large droplets. This effect and effect also causes droplets to be of a more uniform size, which reduce growth of raindrops and makes the cloud more reflective of incoming sunlight. What are the solar systems? There's some evidence of regional climate change affecting systems related to human activities, including agricultural and forestry management activities at higher latitudes in the northern hemisphere. Future climate changes is expected to particularly affect some sectors and systems related to human activities. These include water resources in some dry regions at mid-latitudes, the dry tropics and areas that depend on snow and ice melt. Agriculture in low latitudes, low-lying coastal systems, increasing hurricanes and storms. Human health in population with limited capacity to adapt to climate changes. And we saw this just a few months ago when we had this snowstorm in Washington and all over New York. We'll also see hotter summers. It is expected that some regions will be particularly affected by climate change, including the Arctic, Africa, and small islands, the Asian and African megadeltas. And I just want to say here, New York City is also considered an island. And I have special interest with the Caribbean, especially that Caribbean basin with all those small islands in between. They are at a greater risk for global warming and all these natural disasters. Some people, such as the poor, the young children, and the elderly, are particularly at risk, even those in high-income areas. At this time, I'll take questions.